All right, so I went from a brand new house flipper not knowing shit to going into the nastiest properties I've ever been in my life and getting covered with fleas. Yes, there are cats, stray cats all over. There's one even in the roof over there. I am covered in fleas. I wanted to leave. I never even wanted to step foot in these. I wanted to just go home, but we ended up staying, and we might actually buy this lot with these two nasty ass houses that need to be torn down. Again, I'm so new at real estate investing and house flipping that this is way too daunting of a project. This is what you hear all the gurus talk about, how easy it is, but I actually get hard money here. So if you've been following me, Hard Money Joe, he shows up, runs some numbers, and then my contractor. The fascinating part about this, we might actually buy this, scrape these down, and build a fourplex here because the cash flow opportunities would be crazy. So yes, I still have fleas all over me, itches like hell. And then actually the neighbor over here, he comes out and we talk to him. He owns this shop right over here. So we get crazy, you know, access and knowledge about this area. And so what you will do, I'll take you in these houses. People were living in this shit just 2 weeks ago. I mean, there's bread in there and obviously fleas. So we'll show you what they look like right now. And then we'll talk with Hard Money Joe about some opportunities. And then my contractor, he will go through how much it would cost to scrape these down and then to build up either 2 units that would be, you know, 2 duplexes, or just build one massive fourplex with a bunch of parking in the back. So if you want to hear exactly how much that would cost, the programs that you can use so that you don't have to come out of pocket cash, there's actually loans out there through Hard Money Joe, to where we could finance at least the majority of this project and then refinance out to a 30-year loan and have a massive cash flowing property right here. And we're right next to a massive plant. What does that factor into this property? So you want to go through some of the craziest shit ever? Well, then make sure you stay tuned for this entire video. Oh, and by the way, it's so bad. My wife came in the car. She wants no more of it. So she won't be in this one too much. It's that nasty. Well, Hard Money, I think we got some tear down action going here.
Yeah, it looks that way. I think the first indication is when you come over to the side, you can see that they're, you know, they're really slanted down.
So I'm curious, because we're so new at this, like this just terrifies me to get into something like this, but have you gotten into these situations and like done stuff with it?
Yeah, sometimes it really just kind of depends on the value, whether it's worth salvaging or not. I mean, these are little 80K houses.
So 80 grand is what you would sell it for?
Really the only comp that we could find. They're not really true shotgun houses, but you know what a shotgun house is, right?
No.
Shotgun houses is kind of what you see in Louisiana. They're just the straight, narrow houses.
Okay.
Basically means if you took a shotgun and shot through the front door, you'd go through the back door. So there's a front door and then there's a back door. These are a little bit wider than a traditional shotgun house, but you know it's still probably a 1-1 in there.
Yeah.
It might be a 2-1. But yeah,
man.
just kind of from here. These are super old too. These are built in the 1920s, so you have to look out for, you know, asbestos and all that kind of crap in there.
You notice everything.
I like tear it down. I want to keep these. It's like part of the fence. They're
Little doggy.
But really, I would see what your GC says in terms of if it's worth salvaging any of the actual
skeleton. Other
lumber,
than that,
the skeleton.
now you got to get what permits to tear everything down and rebuild. Can you divide this lot?
Yeah, I think you can divide a lot. The one comp that we had was on 2,500, and this is 5,000.
Yeah.
So essentially, you would just split the lot down the middle.
Okay.
And replat it.
So then you're
but
looking.
is it worth the hassle?
Right, because if it's 80, but if you built brand new, maybe you could get 100K for each one.
You could, but you might be setting a comp because you don't see a lot of new builds right here. Or what you could do is also look at, if you tore them down, just building a single unit.
One single unit.
That's going to give you more than 160, 170.
I got you. Well, they did say the back door is open, the front door is open on one too.
All right, you definitely want to make yourself known on these ones.
Yeah, that's, I ain't gonna lie, this shit is just, I know you've done a lot of these, but.
back door's open, y'all.
Hello, real estate, door falling.
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah, look at all the flies and maggots and stuff.
We don't have to go too
far. But also look at this, see this is your subfloor?
Yeah.
It's all rotted out.
Yeah, there's nothing, I mean, you can
so
do with these.
You just got to pull all the subfloor out. You got to gut it all the way to the
there's
shell.
Bread there. There's somebody like living here.
Yeah, potentially. That's why you always want to be careful with these ones because squatters know they're vacant.
Yeah.
Easy to come in there. It looks like it's this is the living room here, and then you have like one bedroom. So it is see how the front door and the back door?
Shotgun.
You go straight there.
Yeah, this is just tear down. It would be interesting. He's coming, my GC.
Yeah. We'll see what he
hear
says.
His costs on it, you know. And he knows these areas so well too. That's what he could be like. No, they don't. Nothing sells here. Or yes, no. Actually, I mean.
Yeah, all your siding is rotted out. You know.
Yeah, so these are on like pier and beam, obviously. No concrete foundation. I don't know what the cost would be
to level them. The cost isn't huge.
Well, I mean, like to just tear them down. Like,
yeah.
There's no salvaging. See anybody in there? Yeah, the doors are just leaning. Yeah, because they're at 65, which they're not getting
No.
That.
Same situation here. The door. I'm
Just
kinda
leaning.
there. Yeah. It's gonna be in the same condition.
Got a water main leaking right here. So they had a water heater. That thing got stolen or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, same exact red subfloor.
Looks at some point they did update the electrical.
Looks like they tried to on this. It's got
Yeah,
new
they put new
drywall.
sheetrock up there.
They tried. There's even some new 2x4 studs.
Hey, buddy.
You have your own
Nobody feeding you?
Have what?
DIY insulation.
DIY insulation. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what a lot's even going here for.
I didn't check just raw dirt comps, but it's not gonna be 65.
30, right? I mean, this front door is open. We can go check it too, but Jesus.
I prefer not to
Yeah.
get crushed walking in that.
It falls over on you?
Well, the only good thing is it falls on you. I think it's so rotten it wouldn't hurt. Man, that is
Yeah.
just a shit show. Coming in.
This is the worst one you walked, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, okay. So is there even a true bedroom, or is it just...
So what is this, a living room or
This is
something?
your living room.
Full of cat shit. That's
Yeah.
all that's living here is cats. Not a bedroom, I don't think.
I bet you'll be able to smell this from the video.
Oh,
What are these things?
I think
Pickles?
they're tampons, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, so I guess this is your one bedroom.
So one bedroom, you got one
bath.
bathroom, kitchen in the back.
Yeah. In reality, these things, if it was in good shape in this area, like if it was in this area,
Yeah.
for all the industrial workers who just use it to sleep at night, it's
Yep.
okay, right? You probably get $800-900 in rent. But this one's pretty shot. Yeah, you have a little mudroom back here. This is your kitchen. That's your one bedroom, and then you have your.
That is kind of a good point. Yeah, you build one house.
This is a pickled.
Yeah, we're trying to decide what those were.
We thought they were lady
Someone
things.
got really mad.
All right, I'll check out kitchen, chef kitchen. So they like framed this up right here to try and
The
do
Land Before
something.
Time. That was a good movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah, I got a little mudroom action. This is just crazy.
So yeah, if you could have salvaged these on one lot, two houses, it's a great little rental because you got, $800-900 on each one. You're $800-900, so $1,800-1,900 gross. But these are pretty shot.
How hard is it if you would have like cleaned both these up and tried to flip this whole entire property to you?
Yeah, I mean, flip is going to be a little bit trickier. I think you could do it with replatting the lot and putting two houses on there. But it's a big hassle. Do you want to do it or not?
Yeah, this is more of a
Or you'd look for
rental
just
play.
a single family that you can flip it instead of having to deal with the city and
Yep.
creating a new lot.
Man, yeah, it's even if you get the dirt price, I don't even know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, even if we can find good comps on the dirt, you still want to make sure you're getting a really good deal on the land. You don't want to buy the land at retail just to get into new construction.
Yeah, because I'd be curious to see how much it would cost to even build, new
And
units
then
right here.
you have other factors too with your building.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
Not bad.
With the new build, your debt coverage is it's going to take you much longer to get out than the one we just looked at on Honeycut.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be in and out of that thing in 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
From
And this,
close to
new
finish.
construction and then renting it.
It'll take
wouldn't
you a
even-
year probably.
And then how do you work that as a loan? Is it like so let's say it's not in like bad shape and the
Yeah.
numbers did work out. Like, is it DSCR loan thing?
Yeah, this would if you fit it within that DSCR ratio, it'd be great.
What is a DSCR ratio?
It stands for debt service coverage ratio.
Okay.
So it's really the ability for the rent to pay back the debt.
Okay.
So when you go in and get a mortgage,
Yeah.
for your primary house, they're looking at your ability to pay back the debt.
Okay.
The debt to income. So how much income do you make? Can you pay back that house?
Yep.
Well, with the DSCR, it has to be an LLC, so it's a commercial loan.
Okay.
And it looks at the ability for that rent to pay back that debt.
I got you.
So let's say your mortgage is your principal, interest, tax, and insurance is $1,100. Well, you're going to want to be just over that on the rent.
Okay.
So you're going to need at least $1,200-1,300
All right.
on your rent to cover that nut.
I got you. And that's what qualifies for a DSCR loan.
Yep.
A 30-year mortgage, and then now you could be cash flowing if.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're cash flowing. Now you capture the equity in it.
And then you have the ability to refinance later too and pull money out.
You can. You can.
I know the long-term game is obviously something I want to do, but it's like kind of, I think, flip right now to build capital.
Yep.
So a big project like this just starting out, I would be.
And these lower end ones, they make more sense for the DSCR because they cash, like the one in Kingwood, that was never going to be a DSCR, right? Because what
You
could you
never
rent it
rent
for?
it, yeah.
$3,000 maybe?
Maybe.
$2,800?
Yep.
Well, you sold it for $460.
Yep.
So you're going to have to, your long-term loan's going to have to be way less than that.
Way less.
But yeah, if you can get in and out of a DSCR with as little money left into the deal, well, then it makes a lot of sense.
And then on this, do you do construction loans? So if I actually got the dirt, you can do
Yeah,
a hard
do
money
it.
construction loan.
Yeah, it works pretty much the same
Okay.
process.
But yeah, you'd be carrying that one for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing with new construction. They take a while.
How long these houses been like this? All right, so you're probably wondering who I'm talking to now. Well, the neighbor walks up. He's lived here for like 40, 50 years. I won't go through the entire interview. It's kind of tough to hear him, but I don't know. I'm just kind of gaining a lot of courage doing this. You know, I was so scared house flipping, and when people come by, you like shell up, and now I'm just like literally talking to anybody, and you'll actually hear me in here as well. I'm only going to play a little bit, but we ask him, you know, how long these houses have been like this, and also, like, do you know anybody else who's selling properties? So that's what I'm asking every time I'm out and about. I even, believe it or not, after this, I went and got some tacos at this taqueria, and the clerk guy, I was like, yeah, I'm looking at a flip down the road. He goes, oh, no way. I'm like, are you from here? He goes, yeah, I live here my whole life. I said, do you know anybody who's looking to sell? He's like, I don't right now, but the city's tearing these properties down. I'm like, okay. So I'm just asking, you know, to try and get these properties. But we'll listen to the neighbor here for a little bit, and then my contractor shows up. So now we're going to go through it with him and talk about the prices. So this is stuff you can start doing. If you find cheap lots, you got a good contractor builder, and you leverage, you know, a hard money loan to build, you can start building actually new construction rentals that are just cash flow king. So let's go check that out with the neighbor. A year? Does it annoy you that these houses look like this next to you? Do you like it or do you hate it?
No, I don't like it.
You don't
Yeah,
like
sure.
it? Do you like living in this area? Is it a good area to live or?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I got 54 years in here.
Oh, wow.
50 years here.
Yeah, this is my shop.
Oh,
Oh.
this is your shop. Oh, cool.
This is mine. On the shop, I got about 46 years working.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Shop.
Still, you just walk across the street to work every day.
Yes, right. Here's what I'm going and open right now.
Do you know anybody else in this area that wants to sell their properties or?
No, I don't know. But this house, man, is bad.
It's bad. I feel bad for you, man. All right. My contractor shows up, but this is when I discovered, well, this is just the craziest, nastiest shit ever. Let's just go to the tape.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news too, but that's a flea house.
Good.
So before you go in your house.
Did you see some fleas?
Yeah, D-Robe, I saw a bunch on me. Sold those cats.
Well, that's awesome. My wife's going to love that. I might not even tell her. Golly. At least our dog is
Jackson, what are we doing?
the
this venture.
checking myself for fleas.
Stepped in a good pile of shit too.
Did you step in a good pile of cat shit? You got the Calvin Kleins. Yeah, I just don't even think it's worth. It's fascinating to see though and run through the options. I think, you know, as more of a seasoned investor, there's more.
Yeah, and actually the concept I like. I like having multiple, if you're going to hold it.
Yeah,
I
like
was
build
never
two and-
too sold on the fact of trying to flip these. I think it would be a better hold.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, that dude's been living here 50 something. The rest of the neighborhood is clean. It's like this is the eyesore.
Yeah.
And you got a guy who's living next door that would watch over, you know, basically for you.
Yeah, a lot of times the neighbors love to see them get done. Here you have some manufactured homes. So you're probably outside of the city limit.
Fascinating. Well, yeah, man, that would be actually a long-term buy and hold to just build rentals and.
Yeah, because it would cash flow really well. And look, I mean,
Well, can you
you,
put
you
trailers
find you find people here that are working here.
Yeah.
They're easily going to rent these for $800-900.
Yep, rent it out and then you're good.
Yeah. You know, not necessarily. You can't always put trailers on. You have to look and make sure it's outside the city center. The city area.
It's a huge lot. Like it's deep.
It's a good dimension. Yeah. 5,000.
Because you could almost like have 2 units and then put like a garage in the back or something, and then if you
could
rent
check.
that,
I mean, you could check and see, scrape the lot, and then put 2 manufactured homes on there.
I feel like I'm itching now
Yeah. Sorry.
from these fleas. I'm like, good night.
I bet I'll see one here.
All right. Well, I think we move on from it. I don't know if contractor's even coming. I'm gonna call him and let him know.
All right.
Complete tear downs.
All right.
The only thing is,
That Exxon?
I'm not sure that's Exxon.
That's Exxon.
you think that's Exxon plant?
Yep.
Do you know anything about this area? This old man's been living here for 57 years, he said.
He owns this.
And he owns that garage across the street. So the only option here is,
You have a good light at night, I'll tell you what.
oh, good light.
Lights up.
A flare.
Oh yeah.
The big gas flare? Yeah, the only option here is a tear down and building it and trying to rent them
Is
out.
it open?
Yeah, but don't go in. They're nasty, and we found out there's cats all over. There's fleas in there. We were covered in fleas. So how much does it cost, you think? If these are like 600 square foot?
Yeah. 500.
500-600 square foot. If you were to build new ones, is it about the same size?
You would be able to replot everything? Are they in 2 different meters? They are, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah. There's 2
Yeah,
meters.
2 different meters. It's one lot,
Yeah, but,
you could divide it.
meters, it's 2 addresses
Yeah.
because you have 2 meters.
It's kind of
Gotcha.
funny though. You can't find the tax roll. You can only find the 1 tax roll. But yeah, but you have the 2 meters.
Yeah,
so
normally
you'll
they
have
don't do 2 meters if you don't have 2 different addresses.
Okay.
That's because then how would they bill you?
Yeah.
That's pretty normal on it's a standard. They're super old.
Yeah, these ones were built in what, 1910 or 20?
1920s. Yeah.
20s.
Yeah, they've seen better days, obviously. But you're gonna spend about 16 grand just to tear them down and get rid of them.
16 to tear them down, and then how much would it cost to frame up 500-600 square foot homes like these size?
Well, you're probably gonna spend, what is it, a 1 bedroom?
Yep.
Yeah, the little shotgun, living room, bedroom, kitchen. I told him you'd probably be at 90, 100 square foot at least.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna spend about every bit of about 42,000 a piece.
42,000 a piece.
Yeah, so you'd be about $84,000.
Okay.
Plus the tear down, so you'd
Plus
be,
the land.
Yeah, plus the land.
Because so that's really the only option, is not really flipping it, but buying this, scraping it, putting 2 new units on,
So the
and
only-
cash flowing, and just having new rentals.
The only good thing about this area is that the refinery's there, and a lot of people come to work in this area and you
Yeah.
can rent them.
Because that's what we were noticing, that like everything else around it's pretty clean and rented out, and yeah, that guy's lived here 57 years. So that would be the only option. We'll have to go home and just calculate the cost of what it would cost to tear down, buy the lot, build new ones, and then if it cash flows, you make a couple $100 a month or whatever. But then you write out, just have them for years,
Yeah.
pay them off, and
Yeah, I think these would be a good rental properties. It's just
that's the only thing we're really
that's the
going
only
at.
thing. Yeah,
They're so bad in there. I mean, the subfloors are gone. They're about ready to fall over.
they're done. Yeah, you can see it just looking at the blocks. They're,
Just
they're in
sagging.
the air.
Yeah.
See the actual foundation, the beam's not even touching the block.
It's awful.
They've seen way better days. But
Okay.
they're easy tear down and they're easy rebuild. Those shotguns, A-frames.
Okay.
Trying to get rid of this tree, obviously. It's
Yeah.
a trash tree.
Yep.
Put a good oak tree in the front, and that's it.
Get rid of the cats.
Those are good for fleas, man.
Dude, they are good for fleas. They covered us in fleas.
Yeah,
I found 3 of them on me. All
And
right,
you might want to rerun it too and just see if it makes more sense to put 1 unit.
Yeah,
What the
that's the
rent,
only other
what the
thing
rent
I
is,
thought about too
because I see some at 500-600 square feet. They're getting $800-900 in rent. So if you're anywhere,
Actually, in this area, if you actually rent it to the right person,
get more than $800-900
you do about $800 a week.
because of the plant.
is the point.
See, so they get a per diem allowance to to stay out here, and they give them about $700 a week per diem. So if we get 2 guys, if 2 guys come over here, oh, ain't getting no fleas on me, buddy.
Yeah, it scared me.
If we get 2 guys per
Yeah.
unit, they split the cost.
Yeah.
And normally something like this, it's a full kitchen, bath now, especially brand new, easily $800 a week.
Okay.
Yeah, we see that a lot in Freeport. They get these multi-families and then they'll change 1 unit into like 5,
Yeah.
and they're charging them all like $300-400 a week just for a tiny little space there.
You can charge like $800 a week if it's fully furnished and paying all the bills. $800 a week times that.
Yeah.
You can't finance it going on that. You can finance it on what
Only on
the
the
market
month,
rents are.
But we could charge whatever we want. But
yeah,
like,
exactly.
see, there's a flea on me right there.
Oh yeah, let it eat.
Oh my God,
Better you than me.
man. Do they bite?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I feel like I'm getting
That was your first flea house. That's a rite of passage when you're walking
first
houses,
flea
man.
house. Good.
Hey, this is
There's your
free house.
thumbnail.
Jesus. Okay. Well, I guess we're definitely in the flipping game right now, but it does make me curious if you could get this lot like super duper cheap. Is there would you do 2 units like this or 1 big one, or would you try and do like a multi, like
No,
3
I would-
4 doors?
No, I would actually what I would probably do would do 2 units, but double
2
top
units.
and bottom.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna rent them, get 4 rents.
Wait, is that like 2 separate entries, like one in the back that goes upstairs and one down, or?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and because you're 4 units, you probably don't need to change the
Can we see the back?
surveying.
Yeah. Let's walk around. There's actually a ton of space in the back.
If they're rentals, that's somebody feeding the cats, by the way.
I know. Well,
If they're rentals,
there's bread in this one.
you can actually have entries for the bottom here and entries for the back, from the top and the back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the good part about this.
You probably wouldn't need to change anything with the city either, too, right? If you just had 4 units.
No, if you're gonna rent them, especially, you definitely
Yeah.
don't have to do any.
Yeah.
Especially if you're paying all the bills.
Well, you got a ton of space back here too.
That's what I'm saying. You can actually extend them a little further back and make them just a little bit bigger. And parking, you get rid of this fencing and all that. You'll have plenty of parking back here. You can even put them like a little picnic table where they can come out and barbecue.
It's funny. I told him the same thing. I'm like, this space back here is big. You could put like parking back here.
It's the same distance that you have almost for the size of the house.
Well, that's curious. Maybe when we get back, we'll crush some numbers on it and see if there's a way to finance the construction of it and
So
pick up some
what are
good
you looking
rentals.
at? I mean, assuming that you're buying the lot for, say, 30,
Yeah, I mean, you
and
have
you've
to.
got like 16K to demo it.
Yeah.
So you're already at like nearly 50.
50,000 there.
So your closing costs and everything. And then you're looking at, what do you say, maybe 50, 60K a unit?
Yeah, unless we go up with them and make them bigger, then it would be cost a little more.
Oh, you do have 2 meters. That's perfect. That is perfect.
So if you go up with it and talk and build them a little bigger than you're thinking now, is it going to be like 70,000 a unit?
It'd be about 70,000.
70, 80,000? Okay.
Yeah,
So
about 70, 75.
You're looking in at like 200 right now.
200, but now you have
But four actual units, you're
four
going to
units
cash
now.
flow
And
like crazy.
and you got plenty of parking.
Yeah.
Plenty of parking. You probably don't even want to do this one on the hard money. You know what I mean?
Well, so it's fascinating. It's called a DSCR loan. That's what we were just talking about with him is, yeah, there's ways that you could finance this whole entire thing and then actually build it. It's called a DSCR loan on it for 30 years. If you have enough, you can refi. You can actually pull some cash out, you know, on the deal too. It's
Your DCSR is only be good for something that's already fixed up or already built.
Oh, okay.
Right. So obviously you get the new construction loan and then refinance out
Yep.
with the DSCR.
It's worth the numbers. I mean, but it could be a couple. There's some really nice rentals.
Yeah, the only problem you have with these types of ones is, although it looks awesome numbers wise, sometimes it's hard to pin in that finance number because there's nothing exactly similar
Yep.
for them to draw the value off of. That's the only kind of hiccup sometimes. But if you're in it for low enough that you're willing to take a little bit of a hit and having to park cash in there,
Yep.
because this is going to cash flow like crazy, then sometimes it's worth it too. Because
Okay.
your ROI is still going to come back and, you know, you're going to replenish it.
Cash, bro.
Yeah. We'll have to
If they give it to us for the right price, we just buy it cash.
scrape it down and okay.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, or like he said, we may have to just put a little bit more cash in here to get it going.
What are they asking for this?
Well, they're at like
65.
60 something right now, but obviously they're not taking that. But
I mean, if you got deep enough, you could scrape it now and then wait until later on. Then you could get to this when
yeah,
you're not flipping one, you know?
Yeah.
Because the taxes on this is going to be dirt cheap. It's going to be a couple $100 a year.
well, that's nice.
Right now.
Yeah,
Not when you build.
yep,
Yeah, exactly.
And the good thing is, all the little houses that are right here next to it, they're fairly clean.
exactly. Everything's really nice around
Yeah,
here.
it's fairly clean. It's Baytown. This is old Baytown.
So it looks like a little new build right here.
Yeah, there's a new build. See, like that little blue house, the second one on the left. That's a little.
Old one like this.
Uh-huh.
Same
But-
thing like this one. Exactly the same thing, Jackson.
Yeah, most everything's all clean. They put a trailer right there.
Yeah, somebody bought that piece of property probably dirt cheap and put a mobile home there.
Is this inside the city limit or outside?
This is inside Baytown. But this is actually, you see they're not even wired in yet. You see their temporary, their T-pole?
Oh yeah, they got
So you probably could drop a couple manufactured homes in here.
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
stick frame them.
I would always do, like I would do a pier and beam right here
Okay.
and get a little high just in case because you're close to a flood zone.
Yeah.
It's just to protect our investment and then go up with it. And then not only that, all this wiring that's down here now, it would be way up, so it would be out of the way. So it'd clear all this space right here. You could do, I would do at least another 10 feet back, Jackson. So I'd maybe do like a two bedroom,
Yep.
2 bedroom, 1 bath, all 3 of them, small little kitchens, and like these are little tiny houses. So
But they rent.
essentially.
But would you still keep them 2 units or would you build one
Two.
four?
Two.
Okay.
Two, because you can actually do 2 in 1. Do you remember the ones I showed you in my old neighborhood in
Yeah.
Manchester?
Yeah.
Where I showed you that how they build them, it looks like one house, but it's actually 4 units.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd probably just build one and make it. You would actually get a little more square footage.
That's what I mean.
That's
I
what
was
you're
wondering if
asking.
you build
Instead
like.
of building 2
yeah.
units, you just
Yeah,
build like a
one box.
fourplex.
What's
Yeah.
the point of having the gap?
Yeah,
Essentially.
one box.
Exactly. One big fourplex,
Yep, I agree.
4 doors, and all the parking.
You have the room for it.
And then it would be a little bit less of a construction cost.
Yeah, 2 less walls.
Well, I guess we need to see how big a square foot we would build it, and then what the construction cost, how much it would cost you to build that.
I could talk to my engineer to sketch something up for us.
And actually, if you didn't want to hold it, once you have those rented, now they're basing it on the cap rate.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily needing those comps. Let's say you have 4 units rented for $1,400. Well, now your value's a lot higher.
Yeah.
You know, because they're basing it off that income.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
so you could always, what I mean is you could always resell it if you wanted the capital back out of it. You know, if you did everything cash, you got a lot of money parked in there.
Then you could, yeah.
So if you don't want to refinance out, you could sell it that way.
Dude, there's so many opportunities invested. This is just making my head spin, but it's cool. I'm pumped you know these areas too. I mean,
What's the city of Baytown like to work with on permits?
I guess we'll find out. Huh?
Okay.
No, it's all right. It's not bad. It's just
It's not like
everybody says it's the
Galveston.
worst, but
Galveston and Pasadena are got to be the worst.
no.
Dickinson's
actually,
pretty bad.
Bel
Bel Air?
Bel Air is pretty bad, but
Yeah.
All right,
Galveston's a nightmare.
we'll have to run some numbers and just check it all out. get some drawings. I'll talk with her, see how much.
Is it wholesale?
Yeah, I think so. She
Yeah,
posted it on one of the groups. And
65 is way too much.
way too much.
Yes.
We'll see what the land value is here, because
Even if it was cleared, it would still be way too much at 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just run comps on a 5,000 square foot lot.
exactly.
Offer
And then
about half of what it's worth.
half of that. Perfect.
That's definitely gonna have to happen
Then
because
if you get it like that, yeah.
there's tons of cleanup and fencing to do. The old man over there will be happy because you're
They
having
all
your
are.
fence on
We already
that
talked
side.
to him.
Yeah.
He's
said
been here
he tried
57
to buy it.
years. He hates it. Like he said, people were living in this 2 weeks ago. There's bread on the counter right there. It's awful.
He'll be glad to have some good neighbors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have, like, this is just perfect because you have plenty of room for parking.
Yep.
I mean, front and back, you got access on both sides, so it's a plus. And look, you still have a train delivery right here.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Train.
Interesting.
All right, let's run some numbers. That's exciting. Okay, again, I actually sat down about 45 minutes to an hour with Joe, with Hard Money Joe, and we broke it down. I'll save you on that, but I will talk about the expenses. So what it basically ruled down to, and this is why having a good hard money lender or an incredible real estate agent who knows investing can help, because he ran the comps very quickly. What we basically figured out, there was about 5 or 6 pending lots right now that were the same size for about $25,000 to $35,000. So they wanted 65, 69,000 for this property, which is a complete teardown. So you buy it for 70,000. My contractor said it's about 16,000 bucks to clear it. So now you're into this thing, you know, $85,000, $86,000, and you got to build. It's not a good deal. You need to get this thing at about 10 to 15 grand. Now, the only thing about this lot compared to some of the ones we saw is it's way tucked over at the end of that subdivision. So it's super quiet roads. Everything around it was really nice, and it was a massive corner lot. Here's what I learned from my contractor and Hard Money Joe. Basically, if you have a corner lot, then you can set one big building on there, a fourplex, because you can do all the parking on the side. Like, you have multiple ways to get in. If not, you've got to do basically 2 duplexes, or just one big unit in the middle. So the reason is if you aren't on a corner lot, you don't have access from the side, so you got to be able to like drive through the middle or whatever it may be to secure more parking, stack them together, whatever it needs to be. So then I asked him, okay, so you know, the cost, let's just say all said and done to build a giant fourplex on that corner, it was about, and this is just a number, but like $250,000. So lot, tear down, build something big new, and that's for like 2-1 units, brand new construction. Maybe it costs like 250 grand. Again, this is just throwing out numbers. And I said, Joe, if we called it that, like 250, how much out of pocket is this? And he goes, well, just think of it about, you know, it's still a hard money loan, but it's going to be about 10%. So I'm like, so 25 grand, and then I could get the actual loan to buy the property and build? He's like, yeah, you know, and again, not exact numbers because it's very market specific, city specific, property tax, all of that, and construction costs, but basically about 15% of what the total cost would be is out of pocket. So I didn't think that's too bad. And what you do is you break it down to like, okay, I'm $25,000 out of pocket and we build this thing, but I do have monthly payments on this, you know, as well on that construction loan. But once you build this thing, you could have rents, you know, we were looking upwards of $1,400 a unit each. So now you're talking about $4,000 or $5,000 a month of cash flow, but your property is only, you know, $225,000. It's a cash cow, right? Thousands of dollars a month. And what he said, he goes, to be honest, you know, if that's what you wanted to do too, once you got your rent stabilized, now this thing is worth way more money. You could flip it, you know, 400, 500, 600 grand or whatever, you know, and that's how you can start making, you know, $100,000, $200,000. So again, a lot of it was back and forth, and actually the video is way more detailed. He brings up the lots. We go and we comp a bunch of it. I guess if you guys want it, comment down below. I could probably send it over, but the gist of it was basically, hey, there's a lot of opportunity in this if you can get these lots that cheap. But the most important aspect is you've got to get with an engineer to drop these plans, and then the contractor needs to look at those plans and do a budget list on materials. And once you have those numbers, then we can get very finite and granular with the numbers of how much it would cost to build. So I think honestly down the road, this is probably something that we're going to inevitably try and do to build one of these properties down in these areas, but we're also going to continue this house flipping. Lastly, I'm closing on my second flip. So you guys watched that video 2 videos ago, and it came down to an absolute nightmare. For the last 24 hours, I have been on my phone basically nonstop. I was at my kids' program at elementary school yesterday, and all of a sudden the entire deal fell apart. The lady refused to sign. I'm gonna go through exactly what we've been doing. So the 2 flips that I've done, I'm a brand new house flipper. Come down to crunch time, they almost didn't close. And then when I did sell the first one, I almost had a $35,000 mistake, you know, because of the foundation. House flipping is really freaking hard. So I'm gonna break it down exactly what happens so that you can avoid these mistakes. So make sure you guys are subscribing. Don't miss this. My content is as raw and honest as it can possibly be on YouTube about starting a house flipping business. And if you want to see one of my very first property tours and budget breakdowns with Hard Money Joe, the entire house flipping business explained in one video, check it out. Go check out this video right here.